Good afternoon, everyone, or good morning, or good evening, wherever you're watching from. Welcome back to the channel, and we're going to look at all the latest transfer news and news coming out of Manchester United. And as always, there is tons and tons of stuff to get through, so I'm going to try and do it through in the next 10 minutes. Look at all the headlines, we'll discuss, and we shall break down some of the information that's currently coming out. As I said, we're on tour, we're in America, we're going to play our first game tonight against West Ham, and it'll be very interesting to see how this team does. With the new squad members being Cunha and Mbumo, to see whether they can integrate into the team and do what we hope they can do. But let's start with the top stories, and that is coming from Samme Lemmens. This is for Fabrizio Romano, is saying that Samme Lemmens is keen on a move to Manchester United. Now, this is a transfer that is being talked about quite heavily. We know that Manchester United have made moves for Martinez, and a loan deal has been talked about with Aston Villa. Now, can we do a deal with Aston Villa? I don't think so. I don't think they're going to let one of their top players leave on a loan to come to Manchester United. Maybe there's something we can do with Garnacho. That's been talked about by other people, and that has been in the mix for a little bit. But I'm not sure how we would do a deal in that particular instance, because obviously we want to sell Garnacho and try and get pure profit from him. But that's what's being talked about. Lemmens wants to come to Manchester United. We know that Manchester United have been tracking him for a little while now, so there is the possibility he could end up being a Manchester United player. I think he would only be back up to Onana. I think he's going to come in around between the 20-25 million pound mark, as if he did come through the door, and that would put a little bit of pressure on Onana, because even though he wouldn't be the number one goalkeeper, he's young, he's got lots, as a prospect, he's very, very interesting, and I'd like to think that he could have put a little bit of heat under Onana, with the potential of maybe getting Onana and kind of moved on, taking his spot, and potentially having Onana in a position where next summer he maybe needs a move on, literally out the door, because we really need to fix this particular area and situation. I believe tonight it'll either be Bienda or Tom Heaton, or maybe they'll get a half each. We know that Onana, from news yesterday, is well back on the road to recovery, and he is going to be available probably sooner than we thought, which, great that he's back, but as I said, we still need to fix this particular position. So Samme Lemmens is a goalkeeper. His statistics are excellent. He has a lot of great qualities. He's a very good shot stopper. He's good with his feet. He's an all-rounder. He's an all-round very, very good goalkeeper. He's young. He's got a lot of potential, and I think he could do very well at United. But again, could he come? Can he handle the pressure of wearing that particular United jersey? Those are questions that can't be answered at the minute because we don't have them. So that's the news that we have on Samme Lemmens. One to watch. I would love to see us get a new goalkeeper in to put some pressure on Onana. And this was other news that was breaking sort of in the last 24 hours, and that is that Junior Pedersen, apologies, my dyslexia kicks in there. Antony's agent has confirmed that there is interest from Saudi, and that Antony is open to making a move to Saudi. I'd love to see this happen. I'm not entirely sure whether it's going to happen. I think Antony does want to play football. I do think he wants to go back to Real Betis, but I don't think that Manchester United are going to be able to do that deal, because Betis only want him on a loan when we want money. Saudi would be massively helpful to us, because I think we could command a reasonable fee, we could get the wages off the books, and we could actually have a little bit of money left over that could go into the coffers to help purchase another player. But unfortunately, I think Antony's holding out for a loan deal. He really wants to probably go back to La Liga. We spoke about this yesterday. We know Atletico Madrid are interested. So it's just a case of wait and see, but I would love this to be true. I suppose the ultimate question for Antony is, he's back on the fringes of the Brazilian national squad. A move to Saudi, would that actually be good for him? Would he be able to play out there and still be seen by Carlo Ancelotti, and still be seen favourably, and if he's doing well, still to be able to get into that Brazil squad for the World Cup next year? He wants to play football, and I think as the time comes towards the end, he's going to have to make a decision. As our so-called bomb squad, they're all going to have to make decisions. There was talk of Malacia potentially also going to Saudi. If we could get these players out, that would mean we would generate some money. But we haven't sold any players to Saudi yet. We've only let Rashford go on loan. the clock is ticking. We're coming towards the end of July. We're starting the second preseason game, and very little has happened in terms of transfers going out the door, out the window. Some stuff is out the bloody window. Anyway, I think Antony and a move to Saudi, would that be good for him? I don't know. He's 24. Does he still think he's got plenty of time left to do it in Europe? I think he probably does. So as much as I'd love to see this happen, I just can't see it. I really would love it because we'd get some money for it, but I just don't know how this works. As I said, obviously it's good that his agent is coming out saying he is talking. Let's see whether he is going to walk the walk, because he's talking the talk now. But eventually decisions are going to have to be made, and his future is going to be decided by whatever decision he makes, and that will play into the fate of whether he makes that World Cup squad or not. So that's where we are with Antony. If you're only joining me now, if you're new to the channel, I'm Keith, the host of Total Football Talk. Thank you very much for joining me. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much for all the thumbs ups, for all the views, which have been brilliant over the last kind of sort of few days. They've been amazing, through the roof. Really, really appreciate it. The channel's gathering pace. Thank you. And yeah, if you are enjoying the content, if you want to get any thoughts in, please subscribe to the channel. Massively helps me out. Please hit the old like button, also massively helps me out. And get your comments in below on anything I talk about. Do you think Antony's going to go to Saudi? Let me know your thoughts. And next up is that Manchester United continue to have interest in Morten Humland, who's one of the major targets for the midfield. Humland has a release clause of reportedly sort of 80 million £, which Sporting are unwilling to negotiate down from. I think he is the type of midfielder that Ruben Amorim would love. I just don't think he's going to be a midfielder that Ruben Amorim's going to get. We haven't been able to get anyone out of Sporting. We already failed in Quenda. We've already failed in Gyökeres. And I don't think we'll get Humland out either, as much as Ruben Amorim may want him, and he would fit well into that Manchester United midfield. So again, I think this is just paper talk. And unfortunately, I just don't think this is going to go anywhere. But I just thought I'd bring it in. It is news. We have to talk about it. If you have any thoughts, let me know. Would you like to see him? Would you like to see us break the bank? I just think that the money and the valuation is far too high, and we would have to sell one midfielder. Casemiro would have to go. The wages would have to go for this kind of move to take place. Otherwise, it ain't happening, I don't believe. And this is the reason why. Ruben Amorim on Kobbie Mainoo. I have big plans for him. I mean, that's a big statement. Do you, as before, do you want Kobbie to stay? Do you think Kobbie Mainoo is the answer to the midfield? Has he got the legs? Has he got the mobility to get up and down and play alongside Bruno in that midfield? Maybe alongside Ugarte, I think there's a potential of a midfield pairing there that could see us through the season. I just don't think a combination with Bruno and Kobbie in that centre midfield, I think they get overrun time and time again. No matter how well Kobbie is as a footballer, I think he's brilliant. I'm delighted that the kid's come through the academy. He's done really well. He's got a whole world of potential. He's got a big future. But he's got still a lot to live up to. He's still very young. He's still got plenty of growth in him. He's still got a ceiling to try and, smash through. And I would like to see him progress within the team. But as I said, progress alongside Bruno, I don't know. I don't know if that's going to work. So let's see how it fares out across the rest of the sort of the preseason. I think whoever he starts tonight in the preseason midfield against West Ham will give us a key indicator on who he would like as his midfield duo going forward. So let's keep an eye out for that one. Now, this is what he had to say about Luke Shaw. Amorim said, Luke Shaw is a world-class player. That's the feeling I get when he touches the ball. The quality in his one-on-one situations. The England player played 2 finals and he was there, and it means something. He needs to be in form. He's training well at the moment. He has a lot of competition this season. He needs to stay fit. So, I mean, Ruben Amorim's kind of talking him up, but at the same time really explaining, if you want to play, you need to stay fit. If you may have all the qualities to be a world-class left-sided defender. I don't think he's got the energy now within the body to get up and down on that left wing back. I think as a back three on the left side, I think he could do a very good job. He has a lot of qualities. Can he stay fit? I don't know, because he spent so much time on the treatment table, and he's also give so much time towards benefiting England, but not Manchester United. And I just think there's a long way to go for him to break into that squad, hold down a position. And yeah, Luke Shaw's had his time. we've got Dorgu, we've got Leon, we've got Mazraoui, we've got Aiden Heaven. There's a lot of competition for Luke Shaw to try and get past, and Martinez as well. So I actually think he's surplus to requirements at this stage. I think he should be looking at potentially moving on from the club if he had opportunities out there. I'd like to see him think about his own career, because he's going to find it difficult to get in the team no matter how good he is. Or maybe he will surprise me and he will stay fit, have a brilliant season, and lock down a position on that left side. And if he does, happy days, because we'll have a brilliant defender there. But the proof will be in the pudding. Let's see what happens over the next sort of, the window. Not so much the window, but let's see what happens over the pre-season tour, and we'll take it from there. Now, this is what Ruben Amorim had to say about his squad. Amorim, if we had to start the season with a squad, I would be happy. Seriously, I can't believe these words are coming out of his mouth. Reason being, I'll break it down. We finished 15th last year. The squad was abysmal. These players did not, in some games, they give up. They went for the Europa League. They failed in that. They failed in the final. They failed against Spurs. A ridiculous final. Couldn't give enough energy, zest, possession of the ball, create chances created. Couldn't do enough to win the game. And he's happy with this squad. He's had Mbumo and Cunha join. He's had Marcus Rashford go, who missed half a season. How on God's green earth is this squad ready to go? And he's happy with it. I don't know. This sounds like he's trying to appease the club, and I don't know why. Because this is what Ten Hag did in his second year. He said he was happy with certain things whenever we knew they weren't. That he shouldn't have been. This concerns me. This type of talk. I don't know. I hope I'm wrong. Christ, I hope I'm wrong, and I hope that there's plenty more goodness to come from, because I don't really see it. But anyway, that's where we are with that particular quote. So let's see whether he lives and dies by that one. And this is also from Ruben. Don't even talk about waiting for the deadline day to turn up. And he's talking about the bomb squad here. Your agents with low ball offers, the likes of Chelsea, Betis, Juventus. If we don't get the right price for these players, you'll stay and you won't play in the World Cup year. So, strong message from Ruben Amorim. It's very clear, very simple. The 4 players that are left need to find other clubs. Otherwise, they're not going to play, and they're going to let their World Cup year disappear. Now, Malacia, I don't think was probably going to make the Dutch team, and Sancho was probably not going to make the English team. So I think it's down to Garnacho, who does want to play for Argentina, and obviously Rashford's gone, and so Antony does want to get into the Brazil squad, and we've already spoke about Antony. So strong message. Let's see what happens. Last little bit on the club. Manchester United they're in the US, and they're leveraging the US tour to seek investment for a $2 million stadium rebuild. Club execs, including CEO Colette Roach, pitched the project to the Wall Street banks and investors at a New York conference, aiming to fund a major UK development. Where are we with this? Really simple. What does that mean? I'm not entirely sure. Better minds out there will have a better opinion on this than me. But if we are trying to bring in investment, who owns the club? Who owns the surrounding areas? How does that investment come into Manchester United, and what return do they want? They'll want a big return, so we won't own it. And it just means bringing in more and more people to meddle within this club that's already messed with and meddled with plenty, with Ineos coming in alongside the Glazers. And my God, we're going to bring in a third party. Absolutely, I don't understand how this is ever going to work. So this massively concerns me. And the final little bit of information we have is Manchester United are considering appointing Stephen Turpey as their new head of academy to replace Nick Cox. Now, Nick Cox has done an absolutely fantastic job in the academy. And so Turpey is currently Brentford's academy director, and previously had worked at Manchester City for 9.5 years before moving to Brentford. Now, in those 9.5 years, City won a lot of FA Youth Cups, had a lot of brilliant players coming through. Foden, McAtee, who's currently breaking in, Oscar Bob, all these players were coming through the academy, I think, whenever he was there. This could be a big signing for Manchester United, a big drive moving forward. So we'll just have to keep an eye on this one. And if he does come in, it will be maybe a shrewd move in the background. Again, these results will not pay off for many years to come, but we're trying to build something now. So that's an interesting one. And he will obviously maybe worked up with Omar Barada before, so there's a bit of synergy there. But we'll just have to, let's see if he comes in, and hopefully we can carry on developing the youth And yeah, maybe we'll be in a stronger position in a few years down the line. But it doesn't fix the current problems that we have now. We still need players in. We still need to sort out the midfield, the goalkeeper, and the striker. And the season's going to start, and the board are not making the right calls at the minute, as far as I'm concerned. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for listening. If you stayed to the end, you're a legend. Get your comments in below on anything I've talked about. And yeah, I'm going to leave it there, and we'll see you tomorrow.